Welcome to the Ultimate Streetcar, where real people combine their dreams, passion, and imagination into real-world streetcars, competing on some of the world's most iconic tracks, 5 segments, 2 days, 1 driver. This is Ultimate Streetcar. I'm your host, Rob Kibbe, here with OPTIMA Jim McIlvaine, standing in for Hollywood Jimmy Day. Jimmy has this whole new intro, but I know the old ones so well by heart. There are key words that my tongue will not do. So anyway, it's good to see you. It's been a while.
Yeah, good to see you.
So we're first of all, you're stepping in for Jimmy today. Jimmy is caught in travel woes, so we're going to do a preview rundown of the schedule for Willow Springs here. That's the third event of the season, first West Coast. But I'm lucky to get you too, because you were on a boat, doing the Great Loop.
Yep.
And you're on a hiatus from the Great Loop, and I think you're back at your house now.
I'm in Howey in the Hills right now, but I'm not going to stay here. We'll end up in Wisconsin this summer, and so obviously Road America is at the end of August. It's like 3 minutes from my cabin. And I think I've got one competitor that's going to leave a vehicle there because like King of the Mountain and LS Fest are kind of around the same time. So if Ultimate Streetcar competitors are listening and they want to run some of those other events and they're not local to the Midwest and they need a place to keep a trailer, I got room for not everybody's trailers, but almost everybody's trailers could park on my property up there, and there'd be plenty of room for, and I've had 2 or 3 at a time. Hasn't been an issue at all. So if folks want to, and it's safe. It's Road America. It's good people in Wisconsin. So if you want to park your rig up there either before or after Road America, hit me up. I'm friends with everybody in the series. If I'm not, send me a friend request, and if you're signed up for an event, I'll friend you and we can work out logistics.
Are you a Midwestern by heritage? Like, I mean, I know you went to Marquette, and obviously you lived there for years and years with OPTIMA, but what? I don't even know where you grew up, Jim.
It's confusing for people, Robert, because today I've got on my Southern California Timing Association, my SCTA shirt, and a lot of people think California, I think, just because of the automotive aftermarket. And I almost went to school at UCLA. I visited UCLA and UC Santa Barbara, but I'm from Wisconsin originally, born and raised, and spent 16 years in Catholic schools there before heading out to basketball land.
Did you play for your high school?
Yeah. Everybody plays for their high school. If you play beyond that, don't you?
Well, I don't know.
Here's a nugget for you. I am the second best center named Jim to play at my high school.
Okay. Who was the first?
Jim Chones, who went on to be an All-American at Marquette and left early for the NBA, won a championship with the Lakers. He's the best center named Jim from my high school. I get to be second best, and that's okay because he set a pretty high bar.
Awesome. You are you're not an everyman. You're an all things to hot rodders who just happen to play NBA basketball.
Yeah.
There's that. Well, what we're going to do is just help people get through the schedule for Willow Springs. This is the first West Coast event of the year. It's May 29 through 31. You've got some insights that, often at the end of the year, we start looking at points and where people could be for the Ultimate Streetcar. You have stats on who's registered for this event and really just an event lineup. And there's a lot of unique stuff out here. So I think I wrote down some notes while you're chatting. You said all the Outlaws here will be new. They haven't done any events elsewhere this year.
They have not. And Brian Hobaugh is running in the Outlaw class this season. And for those who hadn't heard, Hobaugh has experienced a fire at their place. So Letty's Corvette from the Fast and Furious movie, gone. The orange second gen Camaro, gone. The C5 Corvette, gone. Nobody got hurt. But the cars, unfortunately, were a loss. So Brian's going to run an Outlaw. He's got a brand new 2026 Z06 he's going to run. And it'll be a little change for him. But it's good to see him back out there and running. And I just feel terrible for him that he lost those vehicles, because that C2 Corvette, I think, was one of the most beautiful C2 Corvettes I've ever seen. And the same thing with his 70 Camaro. one of the most, or 73, whatever year it was, one of the most beautiful second gen Camaros on planet Earth.
Definitely was. And I mean, they not only have they been winners in this series, but I mean, they were family cars. That Corvette was his dad's,
Yeah.
originally, I think. And, it just breaks your heart. It's like your dog was in there. I mean, it is awful. I don't know if I ever heard a resolution as to what happened. I just know that a fire happened.
Yeah.
And that was the end of it. But how about GTV cars? Who's coming to GTV?
So GTV, the thing that excites me about that is we're going to have Tony Phillips running with us, and he's been running with us pretty regularly. But he signed up with his 55 Bel Air, and those who remember he went off track at Portland, backed into the wall, and kind of severely messed up his last 55 Bel Air. So this one is newer. Well, I mean it's 55, but it's I think black with red trim or red with black trim. And beautiful looking car from the pictures I've seen. So I'm excited to see that. We've got a lot of other first timers and people that haven't run with us before. Some regulars, Rick Ray and Alan Miller, but Jason Wilcox will be out in a second gen Camaro, and Nick Rolopagos will be there in his second gen, and then Andy Kitzman is going to bring out a Plymouth Roadrunner. So I'm pumped about that. Or at least he's
Really?
signed up to. Yeah, sometimes we get a lot of names signed up and people have intentions, and then when the day comes, they don't show up. So I'm crossing my fingers, hoping we get more Mopars this season, and that Roadrunner would be a great start.
What year is it?
71.
71. All right.
Yep.
How about GTS? Who's coming that has already run an event?
So GTS is the one interesting class because you have Brandon Hurst, who leads the points with 956, and then 12 behind him is Tony Pruch. Hurst has the Tesla Model S, and Pruch has the C6 Corvette. And those guys are signed up to run every event this season. So they'll be at all of them. But the C6 is his normal, or
Really?
I'm sorry, C8. I call it a C6. It's a C8. He's got a 2021 supercharged Corvette.
There we go.
Yeah. And then you run down the top 10, everybody else in the top 10 not going to be there because they're all East Coast people. So the guys that are running, Sam Polari is going to be I believe that's his first event in the series. Jason Trantham, series regular. Robert Foster, series regular. So a couple other guys, but those two at the top, Brandon Hurst and Tony Prucha, it's going to be a tight battle between those two all season long. It's been tight. 12 points is not a lot. That can change easily in one event, and especially if somebody has a mechanical or something like that, it can really upset the apple cart.
And this is just for the record here. This is round 3 of 7 of the points events.
Yep.
So still a good long ways to go on the rest of the series, but it'll be June here in a second, and it'll be October 3 seconds after that. So
but
it
it's the
happens.
kind of the format lends itself to unpredictability because it's your best two events, and it could be the first event of the season plus the last event, and everything can change. And coming into that last event, it's going to be interesting because Indianapolis Motor Speedway already sold out, already has a wait list. It's going to be really hard to get points at that event because there's going to be not just so many cars, but so many good cars. And the way that seems to work out, the guys at the top, they're always going to get their points, no matter how many cars are there, no matter who shows up. The really cream of the crop in every class are probably going to score pretty well. Maybe a couple points here or there less than they might otherwise normally do, but those guys will put up 480, 490 points or whatever. It's the mid-pack cars and folks that aren't finishing at the top of the podium in their class that are going to struggle at that event to try to either earn their way into the Ultimate Streetcar Invitational or finish high in the point standings of the season because it's a packed field, and that makes opportunities like Willow Springs and Barber, because Road America is going to be a busy event and Laguna Seca is going to be busy because those are iconic tracks that everybody loves going to. So the opportunities for the points are really Willow Springs and Barber from this point on, and NOLA was one of those opportunities as well in G2. And the three tough ones are going to be Road America, Laguna Seca, and Indy.
I don't know if people will hear this in time to make Willow Springs happen if they weren't planning to, but they would for.
Yeah, GTL. Again, you've got the top 6 competitors, including Austin Barnes. are not signed up to run at Willow Springs. And Austin's an interesting case because his engine blew up at G2. And I was talking to his dad, Ted, the other day, and their program is not like in limbo, but they're trying to get things sorted out. And it's, they had a really special Lingenfelter engine in that car, and when that thing went sideways on him, it kind of threw a monkey wrench in it. So Austin is the defending Ultimate Street Car champion. He's got his invitation, so he doesn't need to run a qualifying event this season if he doesn't want to. But I think everybody who runs in this series, and CB Ramey would be a great example. He would tell you, he'd be one of the first guys to tell you, if you're not running and at least, staying in regular practice with this series and the format of it, it's hard to keep pace with everybody else because everybody's constantly trying to improve and their cars are getting better, and the competition somehow keeps ramping up year after year, that if you take some time off and come back, it's a steep learning curve to get reacclimated to the series.
Right. No, that I can understand. I mean, people always want to get better, and just because they were super good when you left them doesn't mean they won't be great when you get back.
Yeah. Now there's some really talented drivers. Austin Barnes took a little sabbatical for a while because he was working on his flight training stuff, and he came back and he didn't miss a beat. And Dave Schatz is one of those guys who could take some time off. Such a phenomenal driver. He could come back and he wouldn't miss a beat. Bob Sobey, same thing. But when you get past that elite tier of drivers, even to drivers who are very good, very talented, it's hard to keep pace because the talent is so deep in this series. We've got multiple people that are SCCA national champions, and they dominate in some of like Dave Schatz was the winningest driver in NASCAR racing history. They dominate in other series, and they come here and they can do well, but they don't dominate like they did elsewhere because it's a unique challenge that the series presents, especially with design engineering that people don't see everywhere.
GTC your truck.
It's another class where the top 7 people that have run so far are not going to be there because the De La Houssays are New Orleans based. You got Darren Garvin in Oklahoma. Dusty Nixon came out and joined us this year in a Nissan 350Z, which is kind of interesting. And then Tyler Hawker has he ran in the truck series, now in the truck class. Now he's in the Pontiac Solstice, so he's running the compact class. And I think some of these folks are kind of strategic about how they approach it. And if you're not West Coast based, it doesn't get much further away than Willow Springs from wherever you are. That's a long haul. It's a long haul from the Ontario airport. I mean, that's like a 2-hour drive for me. And we took some heat because I think Jimmy identified Willow Springs as being near Lancaster. And everybody jumped in the comments on social media. No, everybody knows it's Rosamond. Yeah, everybody knows it's Rosamond. There's nothing around Willow Springs. There's nothing around Rosamond. It's nothing out there. It's the desert. It's beautiful. I like going there. It's a unique change for me because I come from lush green Florida with water everywhere to bone dry desert, but it's the middle of nowhere. And to be quite honest, this happens all over the country. So everybody outside of that doesn't live in Southern California, they look at that area and say, yeah, it's all the Inland Empire. It's all Southern California, or, people will say the same thing on the Great Loop that I was doing. They call it the Tom, the Tennessee River and the Tom Bigby Waterway. Tom. They say them together. And then I post something online. They're like, oh no, that's the Tennessee River. And this is the Tom. That's way far away from everybody who doesn't live there says it's the Tom. It's one big thing, just like Wisconsin is just one big state park for everybody from Illinois that comes up to vacation for the weekend. As soon as you get north of Lake Geneva, it's all up north.
I've heard quite a bit of hate about Illinois people from Wisconsin's, including stuff that starts with F. But I'm not doing not doing that.
There's also fish tabs, and I can explain that to you after we get done recording.
Okay. Deal. Like this is now that we're on all the YouTube channels, I think we're more monitored than we used to be. So.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and do the schedule rundown. The schedule rundown, like the whole show, presented by Forgeline, the company that puts the fun and functional. They run on the racetracks. They run on our series. They run frankly, in a good guy show. They are a universally awesome race wheel that happens to look kick ass. They are also one of two companies that post on Pinterest, aren't they, Jim?
Well, automotive aftermarket companies. I'm sure there's all kinds of like women's fashion and jewelry and baking and kitchenware. It's not a site that's dominated by men, so it's unusual. K&N has had a presence there. Jegs has had a presence. They're not active. Forgeline and Optima are like the only two aftermarket brands that consistently post all the time on Pinterest. So if you're into Pinterest, check out Forgeline's account, check out Optima's account. You'll always see new content there every week.
I'll have to dust off my Pinterest login. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I don't I don't think I've done that in quite some time. But since it's there, now I have something to look at. I'll check it out. Usually I just follow them on Facebook.
They do a nice job. I think they take a similar philosophy and approach to social media that we do. They post the same stuff on Pinterest that they might post on Facebook or X or Tumblr, Threads, or wherever they're posting. They kind of probably post it all.
Here is the 3-day weekend. So first off, this is a solo event. We're not there with any other series. We have the whole place to ourselves. Lots and lots of seat time is what Jimmy Day said. This is a big benefit of this event. On Friday, the schedule is 9 a.m. paddock parking opens. 9:30 registration and tech inspection begins. 9:30 the road rally window starts. You can start doing that anywhere after 9:30. 3 o'clock the autocross course walk, I assume, is just available. The 5 o'clock registration and tech inspection closes. By 5:30, your road rally check-in needs to be complete and done. So pretty tight little Friday. Really, really easy. Get yourself checked in, tech, do the road rally, walk the course, call it a day. You know if they have camping there?
I'm trying to visualize. It always seems like anybody that shows up in a toter home probably ends up staying in that toter home. But if anybody has questions about that, they should consult Jimmy Day, who can't answer that question right now, conveniently enough for both of us.
How
but
about
generally,
that? Yes.
Generally you show up in a toter home, I think there's an expectation that you're going to stay there. And that place is literally so far away from anywhere else. I think I'm probably a 30-minute ride to my hotel room at Willows. It's pretty far out there.
Wow. Jimmy at driveusca.com is who to contact for that one. I should have said it out loud, but I was thinking about the whole time, like, geez, can you just go to RV and hang? I guess not. Saturday, May 30th. It's really autocross and D&E day, but 7:15 is the driver's meeting and roll call, mandatory. 7:30 is when the spectator gates open, and it actually says on my calendar TBD, but 7:30 is what's posted right now. 8 a.m. the autocross opens for morning sessions. 9 o'clock D&E starts. At noon, the autocross will end, and we have a lunch break. And the judges' break for D&E, remember, as always, is a half hour off. So they do their lunch break 11:30 to 12. Autocross starts back up at 1. D&E is done at 4. Autocross is done at 5. So while you're not at the autocross, get your D&E done. Just plan accordingly. Get your sessions in. It's kind of like one of our old schedules. It's really, really pretty compact. Very straightforward. Couple about Saturday. That's it.
People focus on the Falcon Tire Road Course sometimes with seat time, but in this heritage format schedule, there's a lot of autocross time to be had too. And for many years when we ran this schedule, it was more seat time than either the drivers could handle or the cars could handle. So I would expect more of that this weekend. And I don't know, Jimmy would have better insight than I would, but it could be a test balloon with new series ownership. If we look at how the turnout is for these heritage events where you get way more seat time in some of these segments, if that's popular enough, maybe they'll do more in the future. So vote with your attendance. And if you like this format, make sure you show up and run and let everybody know, the organizers know that it's a popular option and one that's preferred by competitors. And if you don't like it, that's fine too. We can still run other events with Trans Am series and stuff like that.
No, that's a good point. You can always vote with your wallet, and that's it does help, and so it always works.
You can't complain if you don't show up too. You can't say, well, I liked it better the way it was. Well, we still have it the way it was before. Were you there? Well, no, I wasn't there. Don't complain if you're not showing up.
Sunday schedule, final day, 7:30 a.m., mandatory drivers meeting and roll call. 7:30, same time, spectator gates open. 8:15, road course orientation laps. 9 o'clock, road course challenge sessions begins. Same time, the peak performance challenge morning session begins. At noon, we take a lunch break. At 1 o'clock, everything resumes. Road course challenge and peak performance challenge. At 4, both are complete. At 4:15 sharp, the award ceremony. At 7 p.m. sharp, get out. The gates are closing. We love you. You can go anywhere you want, but you can't stay here.
I think most will be gone by 6 p.m. People clear out of there pretty quickly once things, and especially on these heritage schedule weekends, as you run into the afternoon, and I think, didn't Jimmy say there might be like 6 sessions on the Falcon Tire Road Course? It's whatever.
There's going to be
it's a lot of.
I can certainly see that.
It's a lot of time, and people will get worn out, or their cars will get worn out, and they'll have them loaded up on the trailer. So as soon as the awards ceremony ends, boom, down the road.
Okay, it's pretty tight and easy here. We should have these shows out. When's the last time you can sign up, really? Like, in your opinion? These shows will be out a week before the event.
It's a bad idea to try to show up the day of. We've had people do that before, especially at sold out events, and we're like, we just don't have the space. But if the event still has room, I think they're pretty flexible, and I would suggest reaching out to Adam Hanna, and it is Adam H at fm3group.com. People can find him. People know how to find Adam. But I would reach out to him and see when the drop dead date is for signing up for one of these events. And if you're a West Coast competitor, you've got this event and Laguna Seca for points, I'd get out there and get running.
Yeah, get them knocked out, just like you said. Okay, a shorter show than usual, but it's a pretty simple schedule. And we look forward to seeing what the results will be. Jim, do you think you will be back out on a boat later this year before OUSCI or TBD?
I have 5 boats, Robert. So one I can tell you for sure isn't going to go in the water anytime soon. It needs to be repowered. But 2 of them are sitting here. One just needs the engine dropped on the back of it, and it goes. And then I've got a 20-horse Mercury that I left at my mother-in-law's house in Mississippi that I'm going to pick up later this year and bring back to Florida. So there's not just a good chance, there's almost 100% likelihood that I'll be in the water in a boat before too long.
I feel dumb for asking. Sorry.
You gonna be in a muscle car anytime soon, Robert?
I am, Jim. Thanks for asking.
All melted, yeah. Right?
Yes, I 100%. I will, and I have been. I'll be in it again. So, all right, everybody. If you enjoyed this show, leave us a little thumbs up here in YouTube, or make sure that you subscribe and share in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the channels to your friends. All of these shows and past shows are now available on the official YouTube channel. Anything else before we go, Jim?
Thank you, everybody, for sharing your time and your treasure and your talent in this series. We really appreciate it. Love to see you come out there. And if you haven't been out in a while and you're thinking, maybe I should come back, come on back. It's still the great, fun group of people. And we love when folks come back who haven't seen in a while. We just saw Kyle Tucker at the last event. Hadn't seen him in a while. He showed up in a pickup truck and had a great weekend, had a lot of fun. So great to see Kyle. Hope to see him again soon, and lots of other OGs, as we like to say.
Turns out Kyle can still drive, too. How about that?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yep. All right. Jim, yeah, thank you for making this work. Everybody, good luck at Willow Springs. We'll be back right after the event to give you the preview for Laguna Seca. So see you then. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Robert.